All right, good morning. This is the Floyd County Board of Supervisors agenda for September 11th, starting at 9 o'clock. First item on the agenda is to approve the agenda.
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. Further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passed. Second item on the agenda is public comment. Good morning, everybody.
Okay.
All right, third item, review/action regarding approval of August 27th, 28th, and September 6th meeting minutes.
Move to approve those minutes.
There was some mix-up in those minutes. 'Cause I looked at the packet that was sent out today, or yesterday. It has, well, the packet that was sent out yesterday has the August 27th meetings talking about where Kirkfield and Jim Class from Cohasset presented the rework plans for the project.
And I looked at that too, I saw it. It looked like the, I don't know if the dates were mixed up.
So that's not, that's September 6th.
Right.
And then there was another one sent out. When the median, well, I also have one that says it was September 6th.
Yeah, you're right. I got
So it's like it was doubled up, it looked like, for two
Well,
of them?
I don't
Yeah,
quite-
it looks like, let me, could we go back to approving that and I'll find, I evidently
Didn't put it, the correct
did
one
a
in the
copy and
packet?
paste somewhere that wasn't right, but,
That meeting didn't start till 11 a.m. if you recall.
yeah, I think I've got a copy paste thing, but if I could,
The September 6th looked correct.
yeah,
That you have in here, it was the August 27th, the way it looked.
yeah.
But if I remember right, your August 27th that you sent out in an email.
Okay, here, if I email you all the August 27th or print them out so you could see them instead of what was sent in the packet, would that be
Sure.
appropriate with,
Yeah, because I think you had it correct when you
Yeah.
sent them out originally. It was
Yeah.
what was in the packet
yeah.
looked incorrect.
I guess I didn't notice.
Okay. I just
I read them
emailed
in
them.
the email, didn't read them enough. I finally got it.
Should bring the minutes I printed out.
Sorry about that.
All right, so you're printing it out?
I printed them out, but I emailed it to you all also.
Okay, thank you.
That's,
All right.
it is what I had emailed out right after the meeting.
Right, because I knew I had looked at it, and it looked, yeah, right. This is the one that I had looked over before. Okay.
So
Look
we
better.
have that one, and then we have
So that one, and then the September 28th should be correct, or the August 28th and September 6th.
Yeah, I didn't see any issues with the August 28th.
That's just what I put in the packet.
yeah.
Okay, so with that, then, I know your motion was that you're approving the August 27th.
It'd be
28th,
those,
September
these
6th.
August 27th minutes. Or just
Have you seen? Just make sure, this is the correct one. She just didn't
Yeah,
write right one in the
I read
packet.
that one in an email.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we only doing, no, 27, 28?
And September 6th.
Meeting minutes.
Right.
We have to designate the one we received in the email, not in the packet.
No.
Okay.
I usually don't even email the minutes.
I know.
I just did this time.
So, yeah, we moved to approve the meeting minutes.
All three of them?
Yep.
All of them? Okay, so we're clear with
Which ones we're approving?
okay. All right. Second.
All right, motion made and seconded to approve August 27th meeting minutes that had been emailed to us. The August 28th minutes that had been emailed and was in the packet. And September 6th, I'll just make sure that we're clear on that was in the packet. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Next item, review/action regarding approval of claims.
I make a motion to approve the claims.
Second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Motion passed. All right, next item. Review/action regarding offer to buy real estate and acceptance for the 101 South Jackson Street property. In our packet was the letter for acceptance on this offer. Randy was gonna try and make it, but I think we're fine here. He had sent this out and mailed it to each of the individual owners of the property. As of today, of course, he had sent it out last week, he has not received back the signature yet. But it would still be for us to approve this acceptance and offer for today. So he has everything in there. Again, the purchase price was set at $55,000. And then later in the document, it's including another $10,000 for relocation expenses. On 19, it also had the other provisions that we talked about, which was sellers may remove any personal items or fixtures from the property. Sellers may leave any items upon the property that were present on August 16th. We talked about the taxes. Sellers paying $416 towards fiscal year 2017-18.
The possession date?
That is October 9th. Or the closing date and possession, basically. So ideally, it'd be nice if they were here present, but they do not have to be as long as we get the information that we need. So that is set for October 9th.
And this is the one where you need notarized signatures from them because they're not account. Or they can do it by account.
Again, he said it's not required that they have to be physically here. It'd be nice if they would be. We'll see. So any question?
Well, it appears to be in order exactly what we discussed at our meeting. I would move to approve the offer to buy real estate and acceptance for 101 South Jackson Street.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded, further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Next item, review/action regarding approval of the floor plans for the law enforcement center. As we had spoken when we met with Prohaska on Thursday, what they're looking for right now and is at least for the new addition part, to go ahead and proceed so that they can get the schematics completed and start moving into the detailed designs. Again, this is only for the new addition. We recognize that we still have review yet, I think, in the existing courthouse, but it's not going to hold them up, at least if we can get the floor plans for the new addition approved. When we met with Sheriff Crooks and his staff that was there, they seemed very pleased with the changes that they had requested that were made. So they had no issues whatsoever. While we're on the topic, I know we've got another core team meeting that's scheduled for this Thursday. We've got it scheduled now, so it's a weekly meeting for the core team to be continued discussing all the outstanding issues, on a regular basis. But what we're going to be doing on Thursday actually is going through my entire spreadsheet. And I do want to get that out there. We'll let you know where that's going to be held. I have a few changes. The auditor and I are going to go through them after the meeting today. But I want to get them as up to date as possible, and then we'll send out a PDF so that they can access it. But I had taken notes out of the 2 days that Prohaska was here, so there was a lot of just updates to some of our conversations.
On that addition, Linda, did you want them to straighten that wall on the east side, or west side, excuse me, where they jetted out, or not?
I guess
Way over on that backside.
Yeah, I mean, it's open for discussion. In order for them to do that, they know that they need to adjust probably the size of that garage for the maintenance. What they've given us in size, square footage for that maintenance garage was a lot more than what we had really requested. So I do believe that there's a way that they could straighten that out if the board feels that that would be a good thing to do.
Some of those things are gonna come to them as they're drawing the plan for. Change the easement. Earth-shattering thing if they do it one way or the other, is it?
It isn't for me, other than I agree sometimes the more corners you have, you always think there's more cost for every corner that you put
Right.
onto a building, and that's the only concern I think I had.
Right.
I think they'll keep it the way it is unless your motion is to modify that. Approve them with that modification.
So it would be, if we approve today, literally, that design that you see that they had presented would stay. So again, that's just bringing that out to everybody's attention. We could say that we're approving the floor plans with the fact that they altered that west side of the exercise room so that it's a straight and no corners.
So, I'll throw out a possible motion.
Well, and before we do a motion, I would want to add one more thing. So I've had a lot of discussion on this, and I just want to bring this to the board's attention, that I think some of the challenges from, especially last week, when we've got some of the issues that we have with the courthouse, and it has not been in Prohaska's schedule that we actually start working on getting a construction manager yet. And from a lot of conversation that I've been having, it sounds like it would be maybe wise of us to go ahead and proceed with getting a bid out there and getting a construction manager on board sooner than what maybe Prohaska had it on their schedule. So I do want to bring that up. I don't know if you've had any further conversation on that. It's just something, again, that is, from what I'm hearing, that they could help us through some of these issues that we're having.
And I've talked to two different firms, and neither one of them really wanted to put an RFP out because it's kind of letting out their secrets. But I think both of them felt the same thing, that the new construction is a pretty cut and dried. You can get numbers, you can draw lines. I think where the construction manager is really going to help you when you get into this whole building and doing some of the research in there. So I think it's probably a good move to get this going and tackle that other as you come along.
what I can
What
do
the
is I
process.
can have that conversation with Kurt Field with Prohaska. And, because I, you know, definitely, I've had conversations with him about this several times. Up to this point, they felt it was very important for them to get to the detailed design phase. But again, I think we just, because of the nature of some of the challenges that we've had with the courthouse, I just feel like I've gotten a lot of good advice, you know, that it might be the right thing to do. So I'd want to bring it in front of the board today and just mention it. But if the board is okay with that, I can start pursuing having that conversation.
Bring it up, see what.
In a conversation I had with Gloria Saturday morning, I told her that's one of the frustrating parts of being a supervisor, they move so slow. Even if you attack the construction manager right away, it's gonna be 6 weeks before you get him on board anyway. He, she, whoever, the firm.
That's why I want to get the ball
Right.
rolling on this, because nothing happens overnight.
Right.
So,
Chair, could I make a comment? Okay.
now, could you state your name?
Roy Swickerath, and I've looked at the plans. The comment is that if you look at the rest of the building, the architect said, you know, that bump out will make a, you know, it'll make a look. But you look at the rest of the building, it is all straight lines. And they never gave you any dollar amounts on what that was gonna cost.
No, they
And
didn't.
obviously, you guys have been very diligent about talking about the dollars.
Yeah.
And I guess unless they had a really good reason that that has to be there, they pointed out at the meeting the other day that they could take out a little bit of garage space to get their square footage for
They
that
could.
exercise area.
They could.
I really can't see, you know, like I said, unless they give you a hard dollar on that, I'd make that a straight wall in my mind, but.
And that, it would be our preference to do that. And again, when it was mentioned to us, and I know that they have to work that exercise room because they need to have it in clear sight of, you know, so that the master control area, so that they can see, have visibility. So they do have to make some adjustments on it, but they did not say they could not make it work. So I don't, I know we've had many conversations on this. It just didn't seem like they gave us a really good reason as to why they had to do it that way. And again, they clearly gave us more space, square footage space on the maintenance garage than we asked for. So the county auditor is more than willing to go ahead and shift back some of that square footage to be able to get that jutted back up, so,
Okay, that was just my comment.
yeah.
Like I said, I've looked at the plans and I thought, that didn't add to the building in my mind. And if you look at the north wall,
Yeah,
south wall,
it's
they're
tough.
just a straight wall.
Yeah, I know.
So,
So
thank you.
clearly, we could, you know, go ahead and make that, at least approve the floor plans with that as an adjustment.
That's what I was gonna propose, that a possible motion might be we approve these plans with adjustments to that west wall as necessary before you.
Okay, so, any further conversations on that? Like I said, I think we had 2 good days, 2 long days last week with meetings. And I had mentioned to you on Thursday, I think there were several of the departments were very pleased with the results of the designs that had come back. They had pretty much shown them everything that they had discussed with them, but as we've talked to you on Thursday, there's still some outstanding issues that we want to look at. We have an opportunity here to look in, and again, with DHS and mental health, and I think we need to do our due diligence because we may never have this opportunity again. So I think taking a little bit more time to review and see whether there's any possibility. The one thing I have done is I did ask Auditor Carr to go ahead and put numbers together for us, because if we were to pursue having DHS come over to this building along with mental health, we need to know the pros and cons and what exactly that benefit's going to be, and is including dollars. So she is putting those numbers together for us. And I think we also need to look at what if mental health just came, DHS didn't, what if we staggered that, you know, are we gaining anything? And again, I do believe that a construction manager would actually be able to really help us with some of these challenges. So anyway, that's my update to everybody. So again, our review action is approving the floor plans for the law enforcement center.
I would move to approve this floor plan for the law enforcement center with the caveat that if they need to change something on that west wall, they would be able to do that.
Okay. Or do you want to be a little bit more that we would like that wall straight? You know, that we're approving the floor plans and in other words, it sounds like we're giving them a lot of leeway. And I just want to make sure that, you know, what exactly do we want them to do? Because truly, it sounded like they could make it.
For us to sit here and tell an architect what to do just off of a line on a drawing seems, I don't know. That's kind of like telling Dusty we want all bridges straight.
Yeah. Okay, so say the motion again. Say the motion again.
I would move to approve this floor plan for the law enforcement center with the caveat that if they need to change that west wall, we would give them the option to do that. I mean, if you tell them straight, if they can't change that exercise room,
Jim said he could modify it.
I'm just saying if they can't change it, we're gonna be back here in a month redoing this thing again. If you don't give them a little latitude.
And again, yes, we want them to be able to proceed. So Supervisor Keeling, what's your thoughts?
I'd like to see I think they have that discussion with us, that they could modify that room to make that available. And the motion sounds like it leaves the entire decision up to the architect instead of up to us. I prefer that we just had a straight wall. I think that was, and then move from there and not worry about coming back with the possibility of another change. I just think that keeps us on the timetable better to make that decision today.
Madam Chair, again, I have a quick question. Now, is this under the implication that they're going to stay within budget if they do this? Because this may go up in price. And
They made it pretty clear with us that they can make it work.
okay,
They can make it work.
okay,
Because I don't know, for their reason, they really thought they needed more space in the maintenance garage. And when we looked at the square footage, it was not necessary. So the reason that they did it
mhm,
was because we had requested a larger maintenance garage.
okay.
So they were really trying to satisfy that need. By doing so, they made it larger than what we needed, and then it forced them to have to make that adjustment to the exercise room.
Okay.
But they had it already designed without that need, and they made it pretty clear with us that they could make it work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that should be in the caveat, as long as it remains within the budget as established. So,
They just have to have that square footage.
Just the square
He
footage.
said he was sure.
It's
he
a
could get
required
that
square footage for the
500,
exercise room.
20 or whatever square
Right,
footage.
it's a standard
Yeah.
size for an exercise room. Yeah. Okay.
Well, there's a motion on the floor, and then I have a second of it, so.
So you did not second?
No.
Yeah. So do you want to make a motion?
Okay. I'll move that we approve the plans, floor plans for the law enforcement center, and with the exception of their plan shows a curb wall. We'd like that straight. with a straight wall instead of a curved wall,
All right,
and the necessary modifications to the exercise room.
right, okay. All right. Motion is on the table.
I don't think we need to say it's within the guidelines of the 13.5 minimum, we certainly can, I mean, if you
I
like that
don't-
in there.
no, I'm fine with it not being in there. I mean, this clearly, I think, is just literally a design aspect. They know their required square footage for that exercise room, and like I said, if I felt that there was any reason that they could not make it work, I would let you know, but their conversation with us is that they can make it work. I think they just made it work because of the maintenance garage, but we've already let them know, we don't need it that way, so. All right, so motion is on the table then to go ahead, accept the approval of the floor plans for the law enforcement center with the modification of that west wall to straighten it out. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Okay. I'll let Roy Haskell know. All right, item 7, review/action regarding bids received for 2 pickup trucks for secondary road foreman. Dusty.
Basically, we're it was budgeted for 2 pickup trucks for the foreman. Basically, their trucks will go down in the fleet. And it is statewide bid. We've done the statewide bid as long as I've been here. And basically, they're statewide bid, so prices are the best that they can get for as far as that goes. So the one price that's listed here for the double, we typically have done single cabs, not the double cabs, but there are no single cabs available at this point. So we're going with the
Okay.
double cab, not the crew cab, just a cab and a half, basically the old cab and a half. And the 8-foot box, that's one of them. That price is $29,650. And then the other one is a 6.5-foot box, the double cab, $29,468. So and this is from Bob Brown Chevrolet in West Des Moines.
Always have to ask, so there's nobody in Floyd County?
Not for statewide bid, no.
Okay.
And typically, if you go to the dealerships that are local, which in the past, I mean, the first 5 or 6 years, we did go local, but then you start realizing that they don't want to bid because they can't beat the statewide bid that was submitted through the state, the DOT, and so we just do not address going local in that case. And basically, there's no profit in as far as that goes. Profit for the local dealers is if any warranty work needs to be done on it, then we go local here for that warranty work.
Is there, the county pickup that John drives is in really poor condition? Are yours in any better condition that we could swap
never
any?
moved it.
Now, ours are moving down the fleet because we provide those.
Is there anything down the fleet that might be?
Remember those orange trucks, Doug, or Leroy? Doug and Leroy, the old people.
Yeah.
Okay, now the new Dwayne and Brian.
Yeah.
Those things, I'm surprised they didn't fall on the road and
Holes on
collapse.
the floor and stuff.
Yeah, no, you're in the same
This
boat
truck.
with what's gonna happen is those will go down in the fleet and then the out shops have those old orange ones just like don't get with Doug and Leroy. They're not here anymore. They retired about 8 years ago.
Their names are gonna be here forever.
Oh, gosh. So that Brian and Dwayne had, and we held those out to the very end, that there was just rust buckets, just like you're talking about that one.
Okay.
So the ones that are in the fleet out there keep continuing down and go to the out sheds, which we had orange ones like these guys had, and they are,
If they are in any better condition, I'd like consideration for
you can
that.
see, yeah.
This
I think
is-
that's a wise thing to do, I mean, maybe take a look.
I don't know.
When
I know
these
you
go
said
down, I mean,
yours-
from Dennis and Calvin, they'll go down, those ones, they'll stay, and then the worst ones will get brought down to the state sale, which is, you're lucky to get $1,000, like my Trailblazer when I went down there. I think I got $1,000 for it, it's not really good.
I called Joe at Knockouts, they just bought, there's a list of available state vehicles.
Oh, the Iowa DOT, Iowa has a bunch,
Maybe
probably
Let's
decent
just try
shape, yeah.
not to have
They
to
just
go out
bought
and
a
buy
snowplow.
anything if there was anything that was better than we have it.
I
If they'll
understand.
give me permission.
If that was the
to
case, I
have
wouldn't
one.
kick that out. I mean, if I had to, I would offer that, but you don't want the bottom of the barrel stuff that's kind of getting shoveled out. But I would definitely keep that in mind if it would happen, okay? But I would look at the DOT site, because DOT, that site, usually, I think they used to sell their vehicles at 120,000 miles on the DOT vehicles that you see the DOT driving around. And I think they raised that about 10 years ago. I think they go up to about 170. And then at that point, you want to be kicking them down. But they're in decent shape, and that's where we got some of these orange ones for about 4 or 5 grand. But if you're in need of something, I would definitely look there, because they're not bad. They just got a lot of highway miles.
Which would be as much the case with maintenance truck, so, you
But I would definitely keep that in mind
All
if it
electric
was.
equipment and-
Yeah, if we were gonna do that, I mean, yeah, I would definitely offer that, but what you want from us is it's lucky it's running still. Just
That's what
like
we're driving.
Dwayne and Brian's.
That's what we're driving. I drove it the other day to.
Throwing garbage on the floorboard or?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I would recommend
Okay.
the purchase of the 2 vehicles per my, it is in my budget. We have a couple of them budgeted in there, so.
Which bid are you taking to go, the lowest of the two?
This is the one that is off, no, both, we're one of each.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the one of each. It just depends on, one was an 8-foot box, one was a 6.5-foot box. That's the difference in price.
All right, so with that, do we have a motion to approve the statewide bids that Dusty had? For one of them at $29,650 and the other one at $29,468.
So moved.
Okay. All right, motion made and seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda is review county engineer's annual report.
One for each, one goes to Gloria. Basically, this is for annual report for FY18. Basically, it's where we finished off with our numbers at June 30th of this last year. Our fiscal year runs July 1st through June 30th. In a nutshell, you can get all the details in the back, but basically page 2 and page 3 basically shows everything in a nutshell. This page 2 is all the expenditures. Starts off with the auditor's carryover balance, which is where I start with at the top of the page. Shows the total receipts and shows the total of funds to account for the $9,723,666.69. Then it shows all the different categories, which on my state budget, which I usually have approved after my county budget, which is the same, shows all the different expenditures in 4 different categories. Down to a point where there's obligated balances, and obligated balances typically are the rock resurfacing, any lettings we may have had that aren't going to be expended until after July 1st, so they are obligated. And then whatever's unobligated is just fund balance money that carries into my next year. So the ending balance, even though there's obligations in there of the $886,293, shows that my total end balance will be $4,398,559, which is fairly good. It's been fairly good for the last, probably ever since we received the viaduct money out here for the bridge over the railroad tracks. And so we'll be expending some of those funds on what I talked to you guys about with when I reviewed my farm to market account and the 5-year program. Some of those roads I have in there's not enough farm to market dollars, so we'll be expending some money in the next several years here to do a maintenance project on 5 to 10 miles of road that we can do, whether it's asphalt resurfacing, minimal mill and fill type thing, like they did on the Cerro County line this year. So we'll be looking at spending some of those because I know my farm to market account. I was hoping to have more federal funding and whatever else. So
Those RISE funds, is there anything, they talked about that at NICA not too long ago.
Yeah.
That's kind of a thing of the past, isn't it?
they still have them. The problem is you just have the businesses, and then you get it's based on job creation. So if you're creating 100 jobs at
Was that used
I
up
think
there,
it was
Valero or
$3,000 a job. Yeah, we did that for the Valero when that came in, or Verison, at the time. And so you get $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 on a $1.5 million project. It helps, but then you just have to have the other funding too. So, and then page 3 is, in a nutshell, is all the different revenues that come in. The property taxes, which is the first two, about 1,169,879 is what was given to me, and the rural basic, general basic, the 107,361. And then obviously the local option sales tax, which is the 612,857.65. Road use tax, up with the 3,122,000 times 21, which is just part of the legislature that comes in on part of the transfer of jurisdiction roads that was back in 2004. The 478,879, and then part of the other House file bill, 306.4, which is the farm market extensions in towns under 500, which we have four. I gotta remember what county I'm in. See, 4 of them. That's going to be not North. It's going to be Rudd, Caldwell, Floyd, and Marlborough. Those towns, I do get a small portion of that money back, which in turn I do expend that we did 28Es back in 2004, and I turn around and give them that money back. And we just maintain the center 22 feet of those farm market extensions in those towns. So it has to be budgeted that we get that revenue, but then in my expenditures, I do pay that back to them. Miscellaneous receipts, which are listed down below, is 179,523. Permits, license, we did get some FEMA money back on that. The 154,778 was part of that. Just depends when all that falls into place. And then it shows the total receipts of the 5,710,145.50. The rest of the pages basically talk about each of those categories split out into the different areas, 4 different categories. We do have the construction costs. We'll note on that we did have the one bridge that finished out. Well, I'll get at the end. Construction costs on page 5. That's our day labor projects and any local bridge that we may have done. That is a contract bridge, which in this case I believe falls under this one, is the one that was done over by the 210th Street over on the way to Rockford that we paid locally with the 10-cent gas tax last year. Page 6, just roadway maintenance, anywhere from blading gravel roads, add the rock on the roads. Page 7 is snow removal stuff, traffic control, which is signing, road clearing, which is brushing, spraying, mowing, at the bottom of page 7. And then I do get reimbursement. We come back on what is budgeted, which is the road clearing budget. I get some of that reimbursed back so that it knocks that down. Page 8 would be the new equipment.
What was included in that, Dusty?
The new equipment.
Sorry.
Oh, we had the single axle dump truck. That was, we got from Don's Truck Sales, the Western Star. So that was part of that one. Any of the equipment repairs, tools, materials, supplies, any real estate work if we haven't done any work on any buildings. Indebtedness, nothing on page 9. 10 starts 10-1, 10-1, 2, and that start talking about the locally funded projects. That one there is not 210, 220th Street, sorry, was the one we funded with the 10-cent sales gas tax, and that was the one that we did pay some of it prior fiscal year, but then we covered the rest of it in this fiscal year, which finished that out because the total project total this is 725. That was all the year, so that total project cost 725. But what came out of this fiscal year, July 1st to June 30th, was 326. Then page 10-2 is the bridge project, which is, I believe, the one up on 107th that we're working on right now. It's only 11% complete, but we did have to list it there as local because we paid that one local, and then I get reimbursed 80% federal funding on that one. So that just shows the progress up to that one. 10-3 talks about our local project, which is one of our day labor projects. 62,354. I keep those in the same fiscal year every year. Usually have 3 or 4 of those a year. That one was on 235th, box culvert. 10-4 was the one on Ocean Avenue, which would have been up there. I believe that was a box culvert also. And or 11-1 just shows our inventory of all of our equipment. Same as 11-2. Page 12 shows any expenditures that are paid for not out of our account. And a good example of that, there is none, but a good example would be that if we had any windmill money, TIF money, things like that, that I don't see filtered through my local budget, but does pay for some of my projects. So we didn't have any of that in that fiscal year. 13 shows the requirements for what's required, that is as far as property taxes that's required to give to me. It shows the valuations times the levies, what I get as a portion. Total tax receipts show the $1,277,240. Local option tax of the $612, which is what I get. Total of all that is I am given local effort, $1,890,000. By the Code of Iowa, I'm required to receive 75% of what the total possibly could be, which is the $16,875 of all the property valuations. The rural would be $3.00375 of the rural. Total revenue potential is $1,702,000. By code, if you look in that last section there, it says I'm supposed to receive 75% of that, which is the $1,277,000, which in actuality, because of local option sales tax and everything, I am at 75% minimums on property tax. We've been going over that for the last 10, 12 years. But because local option kicks in there too, we're well above, we're at 110%. So that's a good sign. The only thing I ever relay back that at some point, if my fund balance starts dwindling down and whatever, the 75% is fine. But it's hard going back and asking for 10-cent gas taxes and 25-cent gas taxes on top if that's not higher at some point. But we're doing fine at the 75%. But I always say, I gotta say that it'd be nice to be upwards of 90%, I guess, at one point. But I'll just move on from that.
Does road clearing get included in here somehow too?
Road clearance as a reimbursement back on page, if you look at page,
What are you looking for?
page 7, very bottom, it shows as a reimbursement, the $70,810 which was given to me as a reimbursement from that fund. It's like I'm treating two separate funds, because road clearing's over here, even though I present that budget and then my budget. So then that reimbursement, I was able to get $70,000 back. That does not show up there per se, but it could show up as a potential local effort if need be. And then, okay, and then page 14 shows statement of final cost by House File 324, and that would be our local bridge when it's just shows the total cost. I need to report that back to the state because of that House File 324. Like I said, that rule was back in 04, I think it was 04. There's nothing crazy on this one this year. I mean, it's been pretty cut and dry as far as that goes. It's more of reading material when you're bored, if you want to look at it and see where the money gets spent, as far as blading roads, snow removal, good years, bad years. You look at like materials and snow
Never
removal,
know.
152,000. So, I don't know if you guys have any questions. That obligated balance also includes any claims, like I said, which like rock resurfacing. Any vacation balance that any of the workers have, that's an obligated amount, so I have to calculate that. The accrual wages, if there's something at the end of the whatever, and it gets paid out later, like as if it was comp time or whatever. And then any other claims that we may have outstanding before the end, we just didn't pay for them yet as of June 30th, so they're just waiting for. It's pretty cut and dry, nothing to review and act on. It used to be, I think back in the day, an auditor and I used to have to sign it. They changed that where that's not a rule, it's just me signing it and I just review it with you guys, so. As of now, we submitted it, I don't think I have an email that it was rejected, so that's good.
Well, that, and that's some sort of just maintenance, that granular, so that's contract rock. plus-
Which one, which page are you on?
Plus spot rock. Okay, 6.
Granular, that is contract rock and spot rocking.
Plus spot rock.
Spot rocking, yeah, all 461s. There's 454, which if you look up there, just in the one above, road grade replacement, that one would be, oh, that's more labor, that's the FEMA stuff. Yeah, all the granular, okay, yeah, it's definitely that. So. Any questions? I don't know if you quick at you, I went through it fast, but it's the same thing every year. I've got to submit. We have submitted by September 15th, which I Yeah, it'll be here, so I think I had, when we printed it last week, I just submitted it anyways, I just get you guys to approve or,
Yeah,
review
it's
it
not an action,
beforehand.
you're just here to
Right.
present this to us.
Yep.
All right, any questions? All right, thank you, Justin, I
Yep.
appreciate it.
Yep.
So we'll move on with that to item 9, discussion with county engineer regarding secondary road activities.
There's 2 of those.
Oh, yes.
You can wait on my last thing if you
Okay,
want.
so before we move on to item 9, we do have our assistant county attorney here. We have already reviewed the item 5, which was the action regarding the offer to buy. So we have gone ahead as a board and approved that offer to buy the real estate and acceptance on 101 South Jackson. Was there any other further conversation, I guess, on that?
Was there a motion authorizing the chairperson and the auditor to go ahead and sign that document?
We did not make that statement in the motion, so,
I think probably should,
okay,
to have that covered.
okay. All right, so if we go back up to, again, item 5, I believe our motion was to go ahead and approve the offer to buy the real estate and acceptance for 101 South Jackson Street. So we do need to add a motion to allow the chair of the board of supervisors to go ahead and sign that along with the county auditor.
What should it be done? In the form of another motion or
Yeah, so I'm just,
amend
because I mean,
the
we,
approved motion? Now we're talking about
amend the
You have to
original
rescind
motion.
the previous motion
Yeah.
and then start, or can you amend the approved motion?
I think it would be easier just to make a new motion.
A new motion. Added to the motion that was already accepted and approved. All right, I will make a motion for, again, to approve the offer to buy real estate acceptance for 101 South Jackson, authorizing the chair of the board of supervisors to sign the offer along with auditor Carr. All right, motion made and seconded, further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Anything else?
If I may, just a little bit in regard to update. Copies of that document have, well, if you want to call them copies or originals, that document has gone out to the sellers, and then now with the board's basically approval, I believe the sellers can sign accepting that offer. And as soon as we get all those signatures back, I think we will be good with that document. The other thing is, it was over the Labor Day weekend, I did obtain what they had as an abstract to the property. I took that over to be updated. That came back late last week. I believe it was on Friday.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Gloria whether you received an invoice on that or whether I need to get you a copy.
On the second property?
Yes. Yeah, okay.
I'll look.
Okay, I'll make sure I get you a copy of that invoice. So it looks in that fashion that everything should be on track for the October 9 closing date.
Good. All right, any further conversation, questions? All right, thank you for the update, appreciate it.
Okay. Do you anticipate anything else at this meeting where you would like me present?
I believe that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, so with that, we'll jump back down to item 9, which is the county engineer secondary road activities update. Okay.
Basically, it's not raining anymore. Sorry, I hate the joke, because it was just last week was, since I met with you guys last time, and we got rain over the Labor Day weekend, then got rain again, and we had a lot of things that we were fixing that got washed out the next day again, so, continue to pull rock out of the ditches, continue to patch rock, blade roads, can't get a full round of regular blading in, let alone try to keep up, so there's some spots out there that are washboardy and rough, which, there's never a guarantee you're gonna be 100% free of those anyways. So between the fixing of this and that and whatever, it's just, we'll get there, just that we're falling behind on a lot of other things that cannot, and that's for both counties, I got the same thing, it's kind of one of those that, some of this stuff will not get done this year that were simple maintenance, work order stuff. Replace a pipe here, replace a pipe there, whatever, so.
It's like I told you though, if this is any indication this winter.
Depends what the little worms are, they're brown or black, right? Is that the
Or
crawling
they
furry
say
worms?
the wasps are making their hives higher up. so,
Anyway,
Yeah.
Which one?
So-
One's that warm and
I
black,
don't
the
know,
other
I don't know, I
says
thought it
cool.
was black, this would be cool, and if they were brown, I'm from Michigan, I never heard of that, so.
All right.
Let's see, so that's going on, blading, mowing the hard surface roads going on right now. We're a little wet material for our 200th Street Day Labor project up north of Rockford. But we should hopefully finish that up. I'm hoping we can get that open this week, but we'll just play that by ear. We need to move up to Victory Avenue, which is west of Caldwell, 1 mile and back south. That one, was the one we let already, and we're hoping to have PCI come in. I'm hoping we can get that wrapped up in, well, let's just say I won't say the end of September, I'll just say the end of October, but we need to move into that and take care of that. But I say we're trying to do all this, fixing the roads and pulling rock out of the ditches is what we're trying to do. Projects, Quarry Road project, they basically will be tiling, they brought in equipment yesterday, they'll be tiling it today. Hopefully finish within today, and I would bet tomorrow will be done today. It's pretty simplistic tiling. We should have shoulder come in right after that, guardrail and pavement markings, and that thing should be done. I'm just gonna say end of September, that Quarry Road will be open. All the concrete work had been done, cracks sealed, just waiting on Tyler's come in, which they are in there today. Which they thought they could say get it done in a day, but day to 2 days, so.
I drove it the other day, it was very nice.
Yeah, it'll be a lot better than the 3 inches of asphalt that was there before, so. Let's see, 170th Street Bridge, if we didn't have a lot of high waters there, I mean, we had a little damage from the rains and the high waters and ditches that were already kind of shaped up. Tomorrow they'll be pouring the west abutment, that's the last of the substructure concrete work. Scheduled to set beams across the river and on all 3 spans September 19th, so that'd be what, next Wednesday? Yeah, next Wednesday. So once they set beams, then you basically usually just say a month to, once they get the beam set, then they can finish all the grade work, which is good on the side because they got ramps down across the river. Once that's done and seated, the only thing that's left is really the decking and pour the deck, and then obviously the simple on the I think there's a little bit of guardrail on those.
It's looking good.
So yeah, I mean, usually it's a good way to say that when they start putting the decking on or the forms on for the decking, a month later they'll pour the deck. So you're talking, they set them there and they start going to town there. You're talking, towards the end of October for pouring the deck, which is fine. And you get cures and cleanup time. So let's just say Thanksgiving to Christmas will be open. It will be open. I say that every year. At every
Last time I
project.
was out there, Reclaim wasn't gonna have to heat that deck before it, so.
I don't think they will. I think it'll be in October, and it just has to be 36 degrees and rising. So, and then the heat hydration will take care of itself on that. So, budget amendment. I gave you those numbers
We
already.
did.
Probably should change them a couple times just from the last 2 weeks again, but no, we'll
Send
survive.
it tomorrow. so
No,
then
no,
go.
no, we're fine, we're okay. I'll live with what we put in there, so that's fine.
Overflowing all 3 of them, John Deere, though.
One at a time. One went down with that deer we bought, and then so they're working on the next one before it goes down. And we're about the normal time of a major overhaul, so before it goes down in the middle of winter, we figured we'd fix the motors on.
When you say major motors,
Yeah. Rebuild the motors and get the clutches and all that inside. So. opening, closing rows of signs, replacing signs. That's about it, you guys. Oh, 195th Street Bridge, which is the one we've been talking about last year, that design should have all that wrapped up today. That's north of the Fairgrounds Mile and back west of road we closed a couple, 2 years ago, the bridge was. Those submitted in, that'll be a local letting. I think we're shooting for January, February, I can't remember what letting next spring for construction next summer. And that is probably the last fail swoop of the 10-cent gas tax covering 100% of it, just like we did 2 years ago. Pavement markings have been submitted for across the county, and that will be a letting in February. I think the 20th or 19th of February for next summer pavement markings. And then we are on hold for the T38 stuff until my final market account can build back up. More likely, had a NICOG meeting last week, and I kind of explained that I'm still obligated. I still have the $1.4 million of federal funding or swap money is guaranteed to me still. It just won't get constructed next summer. It'll be pushed back a year. So, that's it.
Have you done any more about that Beaver Creek?
No, I talked to my assistants, both counties, and probably in the month of October, because of all the stuff going on with projects,
That's fine.
we'll
I just
probably
wanna make
take
sure
care of it, and I will
you're-
keep in touch with you on that.
Okay.
Because those reports had to be submitted by December, we didn't do last year's. I don't know how much real vegetative growth was out there last year anyway, so I think we just take our hit and move forward from there, so.
Okay.
I need to talk to one of the landowners that has the locked, so I can get to that access, and then kind of go from there.
Okay.
But I'll keep in touch with you as the chair, if that's okay.
Sounds good. All right. Okay. That's it?
That's it.
Any other questions?
No.
All right, we'll move on to item 10, future agenda items. We had talked previously about inviting Frank Blaine with Valero, so I know we had mentioned that before. I want to find out, could you possibly check on that and maybe kind of spearhead that discussion so that we can see if we can get them in here and start a discussion. I don't think there's a set date or anything, but I just wondered if you could kind of spearhead that.
You'd like to have the county engineer and the sheriff.
Yeah, I mean, I can be here, that's no problem with me,
Yes.
it's probably for sure
I
the
think it'd be a
sheriff.
good discussion, maybe we should check.
So a Tuesday meeting,
I-
that's what you're looking at for SDD.
Yeah.
Okay. Other things I know we might have mentioned, I know future agenda items we've got is the parking tickets. We're gonna hopefully be having that, I think, here at the end of the month. I think that's a plan for us to have that as a topic. We'll have Frank in here and possibly, I don't know, somebody from the city maybe to talk about the 2080 that's being put together. The city has already approved it, so we as a county need to review that and approve it. There's also, I think, a 2080 for Central Iowa Juvenile. I think you had done some
Did
checking
you hear
on
anything
that.
from Tony on that?
Yeah, I've got it, I just sent an email to, I'd sent an email when I got it to him about that
Questioning all
process.
those
And
signatures.
I've also sent it to the county attorney's office.
Okay, you have it. Okay, well, that's out there now for us to have on a future. The Nashua Clinic, I think, too, that was also a future agenda topic to talk about.
I don't think that needs to be talked about here.
Oh, okay.
But I think when the hospital comes here on the 24th, it may be
To present to us that we could talk about, okay.
But it's up to them, their board, their commission, I believe, to decide. But they are working with the county attorney also on that process.
All right. So
And
those
there's
are
a,
the
I
future
think has
agenda.
an abate, request for abatement of taxes for the city of Cowell too.
Okay, any other future agenda topics? All right, move on to item 11.
You can adjourn.
Second.
All right, we are adjourned.